Alright, so today's upload is going to help a lot of you out there. So buckle up and get ready. Get ready to learn the most important basics of men's hair. Get ready to don the perfect haircut for your face, body and mighty personal care. Now this may seem like a difficult topic to understand, gentlemen, but trust me and have some patience. You try these tips out for some time, you mix and match a few things, and I'm very sure your perfect hairstyle will come running to you. Okay, now let's not delay, let's not postpone things any further. If finding the perfect hairstyle for your face shape is your concern, gentlemen, let me give it to you. My name is Mayank Bhattacharya, this is Men's Essentials. Let's roll the intro. Okay, so first thing first, understand this. Your hair can make or break your outfit. Actually, not only outfit, your hair or your grooming can literally make or break your whole personality and your overall vibe. From looking like a super adorable, super naive 18-year-old to being a Fauji or a fighter pilot. Everything can be determined, everything can be easily replicated. Gentlemen, everything can be easily composed and portrayed using your hairstyle and your grooming game. Now, I personally fall into the second category of men. Men who willingly make it difficult for themselves to get laid. Courtesy the intimidating in your face haircuts and hairstyles. You, however, you can choose to be different, you can choose to be nice. And in this upload, I'll show you exactly how. You see, step number one or tip number one in finding the best hairstyle for your face shape is understanding your damn face shape. We human beings in general have 5 to 6 types of different face shapes. Square, rectangle, diamond or heart, triangle, oval and a circle. 6 different face shapes that we all have. So let's start things off with the mighty square face shape. You see, for a square face shape, you will have a prominent forehead. You will have a big wide forehead. You will have big wide cheekbones and a big wide jawline. But the important thing here, the key thing here is to remember the fact that everything is going to be in proportion. Your forehead, your cheekbones and your jawline, everything is going to be in absolute perfect or near to perfect proportions. This is probably the most masculine face shape out there. This is probably the most alpha male face shape out there. Chisel jawline, wide cheekbones, probably the most badass look you can have. Now, if you are someone lucky enough to have this, if you are someone lucky enough to have a square face shape, you have 2-3 very good options to choose from. One, if you want to amplify your masculine, if you want to amplify your bad boy personality, you can go for a typical crew cut or a typical Fauji buzz cut. The formal military cut with extreme short sides and extreme short length on top. I mean, you won't even have the length to blow dry or do anything on top. That's the beauty of it. That's the point of this haircut for your face shape. See, the whole idea, the whole point here with different face shapes and different hairstyles for different face shapes is to understand and make things look aesthetically pleasing. Make our face look aesthetically pleasing. So if you are someone with a square face, everything is very sharp and very angular on your face and you want your hair to soften things out. Therefore, getting a crew cut or getting something very soft and casual on top will help you soften out the edges and thus make you look a whole lot more aesthetically pleasing, angular and yet very badass at the same time. And yes, it will also save you a lot of time because you will not be blow drying your hair for half an hour, you will not be using any products and you will be in and out of your shower in like no time. You'll also look like an armed force officer, you'll also look like a fighter pilot, and who doesn't want to look like a fighter pilot? But the second option, however, is for someone who's a bit more style or fashion savvy. A medium to long length side part or messy quiff. Do you remember the goal? Do you remember the point here? Exactly, to soften the edges out, to make your face look a whole lot more softer, courtesy your sharp angular jawline and cheekbone. So having a soft nice side part or having a messy quiff on top will help you soften out the edges, will help your face look a bit more pleasing and eye-catchy. I mean, plenty celebrities are seen doing this on a regular basis and they all look pretty good doing it. Shah Rukh Khan is one such gent who's seen rocking this hairstyle since time immemorial. His sides are fairly long, his hair is all texturized and volumized on back, and therefore he looks a whole lot more handsome rocking that amazing hairstyle. Now, if you're someone young under the age of 21 or 22 years old, you can even try a high fade and then have a very messy quiff on top. High fade because it will help you accentuate your cheekbones a bit, and a messy quiff because it will help you soften out the overall sharp lines on your face. Also, one important thing, one key thing to keep in mind here is the overall volume on top in accordance, in proportion to your face. If you have a 9-inch face and if you have a 15-inch long hair volume on top, it will make you look like a freaking cartoon character, and I don't want you to look like a cartoon character. So please be aware, please be advised, and please be smart about the volume that you are going to add on top of your head. Don't go all blow dry crazy on it. Be aware, know your proportions, and stay in your lane. Anyway, next up on the list is a rectangle face shape. Still quite similar to the square face shape, but a bit more longer. It's just that your chin is going to be fairly narrower than your nice forehead. You'll still have sharp angles to your face. You'll still look a whole lot more masculine as it is. But the goal that we have to keep in mind here is to not make our face look very long, because we already have a long face. What we need to do with our hair is make it look in proportion, make it look nice and soft, yet aesthetic at the same time. So what are we going to do? How are we going to achieve it? Well, easy. One, eliminate volume on top. There won't be any big quiffs, any big pompadours for someone who has a rectangular face. You already have a long face. Like I said, you don't want big volume on top. So please stop using some crazy blow drying and have that enormous volume and make yourself look like a walking funny guy. I don't want you to be that guy. I want you to be aesthetically pleasing and visually very attractive. I mean, you're not Johnny Bravo, so I look like him. So what to do and how to get the perfect hairstyle in case of a rectangular face? Well, avoid going super heavy and super tight on your sides, and try something with a messy or a nice slick back comb try. I mean, a solid scissor over comb haircut and a solid scissor over comb hairstyling technique is probably the best bet in this case. Every barber knows it. There is no rocket science behind it. It will not add a whole lot of crazy volume on top, and you'll look very attractive. But if you are feeling risky, if you are feeling bad boyish, if you want to have that alpha male demeanor from your hair, then you can even try a crew cut on your face. Yes, it's a bit risky, but the whole idea, the whole point of a crew cut being you having no volume on top. So if you don't have any volume on top, you won't be able to style it regardless. Get your sides nice and tapered and have no volume on top. Let the top be soft. Let it even fall on your forehead if you want, but don't go super heavy with the volume on top. Either ways, both the cuts, both these styles are going to look amazing on your handsome face. But the third one on the list, the third face shape on the list is the diamond or the heart. The face shape that you see right here. Fairly chiseled jawline, fairly high cheekbones, a decent forehead, but by God, I hate these cheekbones. I mean, look at them. They are super wide and they are super weird. And for this very reason, I hate to agree to it, but there need to be some volume on top. Because your cheekbones are super wide, and if you don't have some volume on top, your face will just look like a floating circle, which it kind of does, because I need a haircut. And this is the also reason you see me rock these super high fades all the freaking time, because I'm sick and tired of my super wide cheekbones. I can't even wear sunglasses for that matter, because these cheekbones won't fit into any single one of them. I can't even find a nice hat because these cheekbones and this temple won't fit into any decent pair of them. I mean, that's the only concern, that's the only thing you have to keep in mind if you're someone with a diamond or a heart face shape. Get your sides tapered, get your sides tight, so that you can accentuate your cheekbones, you can make it look long and add some more angles to your face. I mean, we are not someone with a rectangle or a square face. We need to add that using our hair. Super tapered, super sharp sides help us with that. But the top, however, the top needs to be heavily textured, because we do have a decent jawline, we do have some high cheekbones, we do have some angles to our face, and if we don't use our hairstyle the right way to soften out the face in general, add some length but still soften the face out, because apparently a triangle or a heart face shape is a hybrid of a square and a rectangle. So we need to trim the sides, we need to go super high fade on it to add that length, because we don't have any length, and we need to soften out the top to maintain the visual, the aesthetic symmetry of a face. Now you know my hairstyles, and now you know the science behind it. But hey, if you're not into my type of hairstyles, if you're not into blow drying your hair and having a quiff or a pompadour on top with super high fades, what you can try doing is get your sides medium fade or high faded and let it bang on top. Have a crew cut, but let the hair be a bit more longer than the usual crew cut, and just let it sit on front. The wannabe bangs or the wannabe hair on your forehead will soften out the edges, and the tapered tightened sides will add the needed length to your face. Two easy ways, two easy haircut, you can definitely give them a try. Now see, there is one thing that I don't want you to screw up, there is one thing that I want you to keep in mind. Don't try to make your hair absolutely perfect on top. I mean, when you're with a barber, when you're with a hairstylist trying to get the perfect haircut, get that heavy textures on top, so that when you're styling it or when you're done styling it and when you're hairspraying it, it's not the perfectly done hair. There has to be some textures, there has to be some mess on top, because if that's not the case, you'll end up looking like a walking box. This will look like a walking box, and you don't want to be a walking box. You want some textures, you want some definitions to match and soften out the face. Anyway, next up on the list is the round or the circle face. Now, just like the square face shape, even a round face shape has pretty equidistant areas. I mean, your forehead, your cheekbones and your chin are pretty much going to be of the same size. But the problem here, or the concern here, is the lack of angles. But don't worry, we can fix it. See, your face is chubby, your face is full, and we have to do something about the hair to make it look a whole lot more angular and sharp. Now, how do we do it, you ask? Well, easy. We get a boxy haircut. Yes, the same haircut that I can't have, that none of the square, rectangle or diamond face shape men can have, you can have that on your face, and you should definitely have it styled on your face. See, a haircut with super sharp sides and a very set pompadour or quiff on top will add that needed angle and make your face look a whole lot more pleasing than what it was, because you are breaking out the softness of your face by adding some angles using your hair. You can even use some spikes, you can even go for a very high fade, let this thing be a straight line, let this thing add that edge on your face and have some crazy spikes to add that needed angle on your super soft face. Two different hairstyles, but hey, both of them work great in your favor. The only thing that you should not be doing, the only thing that I would not recommend you do ever, if you're someone with a circle, round or an oval face, is let your hair sit on top of your forehead. Yes, if you're someone with a square, rectangle or diamond face shape, you can do that because that will help you soften out the strong angular face. But if you're someone with oval or circle or round face, you don't want your hair to sit on your face because that will make things very soft. You already have a soft face, you don't want to make things even more softer. That's just crazy, that's just stupid, and that will simply look very, very unpleasing to the eyes. Don't let the hair sit on your forehead, style it back, spike it up, do whatever you want, add some angles, make it look boxy, get your sides nice and tapered, and see the difference in your face. The very same thing can be applied to your oval face as well. See, the oval face is pretty much the same replica of a rectangular face shape, minus the angles, minus the needed jawline and cheekbones. You'll have high cheekbones, you'll have a very small petite jawline, and you'll have a very nice forehead. This is a very handsome face. I mean, this is the most common men's face shape you can find around. I mean, I kid you not when I tell you this, 5 out of 10 men have this oval face shape. So it's very common, it's very natural, and it's equally common and easy to style. One very easy haircut if you are someone with an oval face shape is go to your barber and get the typical Desi barber haircut. He'll take a trimmer, he'll trim your sides, he'll use a blow dryer, and he'll just blow dry your top in place. Easy fix, no hard work at all. This will work with most of the men, and this hairstyle has been working with most of the men around. Now, the reason this hairstyle works for this face is because your sides aren't too short, because they are trimmed, and they are trimmed fairly long. So you don't have to worry about your sides being very short, because extreme short sides can make your face look even longer, and you don't want that look. And at the very end, when you brush your hair back with a blow dryer, you style it and put it right, it adds that needed angle, it gives it the needed structure. But hey, if you're feeling a bit James Bondish, if you're feeling a bit bad boyish, you can actually do a high skin fade on your sides, but make sure you have a nicely done neat quiff or a very neat pompadour on top. You can't afford to have anything messy or anything very soft and flowy on top, because you want to have that angle. A very nice pompadour, a very slick back pompadour, a very slick back quiff, or a very structured quiff will give your face the needed angles and structure it needs. Just make sure, just keep this one thing in mind, that you have to keep things nice and tight. But the last face shape and the last few hairstyles on the list, gentlemen, is probably the most difficult one to style. It is none other than the triangle or the inverted triangle. Your chin is going to be the widest area of your face, followed by the cheekbones and a very narrow forehead. So this is going to be an inverted triangle on your face. And the whole idea, the whole concept that we try to do with our faces, we try to make it look triangular. This is an ulta triangle. So how do we achieve that? How do we do that? Well, 1, do not let your sides go crazy short, and 2, get a classic side part. You see, this will fill out your super narrow forehead, and it will also soften your cheekbones. Your cheekbones are angular, they are just inverted. So this hairstyle, or adding some length and some volume on sides, will help you soften out that inverted triangle and make it look a whole lot more pleasing, a whole lot more eye-catchy. Now you can either choose to have a slick back on top, or you can rock a messy quiff. But this is not all that stylish. What if you do want to rock a tight fade on sides? What if you do want to use a trimmer on the sides? Well, there is a way out. Get your sides trimmed. Do not get it faded. Do not use a razor on your sides, but get it trimmed as tight as you can, and try rocking a big volume quiff on top. Now see, the point here, the goal here is to rock a quiff, rock a good looking quiff, and a quiff can't be good looking if it does not have nice and tapered sides. So you can taper your sides, but then make sure your overall quiff is nice and filling on top, so that your face looks a whole lot more aesthetically pleasing. Make sure your quiff is a nice side quiff and not something that you see on my face right now. But this is in case you're fine with a blow dryer. If not, you can always get your sides nice and tapered, or even shaved for that matter, and have that fringe all up on your forehead and rock that look like many people do and many people style. 6 different hairstyles for 6 different face shapes that we all have. You wanted it, you requested it, now you have it. What next? What more? Do let me know in the comment section box down below and I'll get it to you. I'll give it to you. But for now, I need a haircut, so I'll go get a haircut. I'll get my sides nice and short. I'll keep my face looking nice and long. Meanwhile, you don't forget to dress up, stay strong and stay stylish. You don't forget to get a nice new haircut and show it to me on my Instagram. I'll get back to work. I'll make more videos. I'll see you soon in the next one. Gentlemen, my name is Mayank Bhattacharya. Thanks a lot for watching. Jai Hind. Take care.